The notion of whether a thought is necessary or not is both profound and practical. It touches on the essence of mental freedom and inner peace, themes deeply woven into Stoic philosophy. In this entry, I aim to explore the impact of interrogating thoughts to determine their necessity and the liberation that comes from letting go of those that are superfluous. To begin, it's crucial to understand what we mean by thoughts. Thoughts are the constant stream of mental activity that we experience every day. They range from fleeting impressions to deeply ingrained beliefs. In the whirlwind of daily life, our minds can be occupied with a vast array of ideas, worries, plans, and reflections. But the question arises, which of these thoughts are truly necessary? Stoic philosophy teaches us that our thoughts are not inherently good or bad. Rather, it's our relationship with them that determines their value. According to Marcus Aurelius, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. This quote underscores the profound impact our mental focus has on our overall well-being. If we allow our minds to dwell on unnecessary or harmful thoughts, we essentially dye our souls in a color that may not serve our highest good. Interrogating thoughts involves scrutinizing them to determine their necessity and value. This practice can be transformative, leading to greater mental clarity and emotional resilience. The Stoics recommend evaluating our thoughts through a lens of rationality and utility. 1. Is this thought necessary? The first step is to ask whether a thought is necessary. This involves assessing if the thought contributes positively to our current situation or if it merely distracts us. For instance, if I'm dwelling on a past mistake, I might ask, is this thought helping me to grow, learn, or improve my current situation, or is it simply keeping me stuck in regret? This practice of questioning our thoughts can be seen in the teachings of Epictetus. It is not events themselves that disturb us, but our interpretation of those events. By recognizing that our distress often stems from our interpretations rather than the events themselves, we can better judge whether a thought is necessary. 2. The role of rational analysis. Rational analysis is another crucial tool in determining the necessity of thoughts. Stoicism advocates for a logical approach to examining our mental processes. When faced with a troubling thought, I might ask, does this thought align with reason? Does it serve a purpose, or is it simply a byproduct of emotional turbulence? Marcus Aurelius emphasizes this approach when he writes, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By applying rational analysis, we exercise control over our mental state, aligning our thoughts with reason and purpose. 3. The practice of letting go. Once we've determined that a thought is unnecessary, the next step is to let it go. This can be challenging, as our minds often cling to habitual patterns. However, releasing unnecessary thoughts is a crucial aspect of mental freedom. Epictetus advises, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. This quote highlights the importance of releasing our attachment to judgments and opinions, which can be a significant source of unnecessary thoughts. By letting go of these attachments, we create space for more constructive and purposeful thinking. 4. Embracing mental freedom. The freedom that comes from letting go of unnecessary thoughts is profound. It allows us to cultivate a sense of inner peace and focus on what truly matters. When we release mental clutter, we create room for more meaningful and productive thoughts. Marcus Aurelius captures this idea beautifully. The tranquility that comes from the acceptance of the things we cannot control is the ultimate form of inner peace. By accepting the natural ebb and flow of thoughts and letting go of those that are not beneficial, we embrace a state of tranquility that is both empowering and liberating. 5. Practical techniques for thought management. Implementing practical techniques can enhance our ability to manage and interrogate thoughts. For example, mindfulness and journaling are effective tools for this purpose. Mindfulness helps us observe our thoughts without judgment, while journaling allows us to reflect on and evaluate our thought patterns. A mindfulness practice might involve sitting quietly and observing the flow of thoughts without attachment. When a thought arises, we simply note it and let it pass. Journaling, on the other hand, provides a structured way to examine our thoughts in detail. By writing down our thoughts and analyzing them, we gain insight into their necessity and impact. Personal reflection. Reflecting on my own experiences, I've found that interrogating and letting go of unnecessary thoughts has been incredibly liberating. In times when I've felt overwhelmed by mental clutter, practicing this approach has brought clarity and peace. For instance, when facing financial stress, I often found myself ruminating on worst-case scenarios. By asking whether these thoughts were necessary and aligning my focus with rational analysis, I could shift my attention to practical solutions rather than dwelling on fear. This shift not only alleviated stress, but also enabled me to approach the situation with greater effectiveness and calm. Similarly, when dealing with interpersonal conflicts, I used to struggle with persistent judgments and negative thoughts about others. By questioning the necessity of these thoughts and focusing on empathy and understanding, I improved my relationships and fostered a more harmonious environment. The journey of interrogating thoughts to determine their necessity and letting go of those that are unhelpful is a path to greater mental freedom and inner peace. By applying Stoic principles and practices, we can cultivate a more balanced and purposeful mental state. As Marcus Aurelius wisely notes, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. By choosing to focus on thoughts that contribute positively to our lives and letting go of those that do not, we can transform our mental landscape and embrace a more fulfilling existence. This practice, while challenging, offers profound rewards in the form of clarity, tranquility, and emotional resilience.